I'm really excited about today's topic because it's something that no one, I feel like, has figured out. And we have kind of, I wouldn't say figured it out, but we're making money. Like, we're profitable, we're making money, and it's helping our Amazon sales too. So I'm really hyped to talk about step by step, literally everything that you need to do to like start making money on TikTok Shop. How familiar are you with TikTok Shop, Clayton? Have you done anything with it?
I have been selling on Amazon since 2018. As you know, I've done Walmart. I do not currently sell on TikTok Shop, but I just got back from 2 weeks in China, very likely headed back there very, very soon. And as you can imagine, everybody in China is talking about TikTok. I think partly because it's a Chinese originally company, but also because the clicks are like, and the impressions, it's cheaper, right? You can get a lot of eyeballs for a lot cheaper than you can other places. So I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't have my own store.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, they make it scalable. So they make it scale, like, dude, in the past, like, do through Instagram, reaching out to people and being like, hey, do you want to try the product? Can we get content from you? It is so painful. They've created the best win-win-win scenario. So basically, first of all, everyone lives on the platform. Brandy lives on TikTok Shop. If she's not working, oh, sorry, not TikTok Shop, just TikTok. If she's not working, she's on TikTok. All right. And then, so they have attention, like they figured out the dopamine, and then they're like, okay, how do we incentivize people to sell? And then also how to incentivize people to promote. And so they created this, like, the perfect kind of win-win where you, like, as a stay-at-home mom, can just create some content. It can pop off and you can make thousands of dollars right from the comfort of your home. And then all these brands are like, dude, hell yeah. Like, it used to be so painful to reach out to people, and now it's just like you target collab, hit 1,000 people up, and you're like, yo, I want you to promote my product. 300 of them people say yes, and then you have 300 pieces of content literally on TikTok, for your brand. And if they make money, it's a commission based, so it's like they're incentivized. It's honestly, it is genius, bro. I think Amazon's gonna have to come up with something similar because it's just too good.
They've kind of tried, but not nearly as successfully, man. People are just already creating so much content on TikTok. Amazon's always been a marketplace, right? It's never been a social place that you go to hang out. TikTok is becoming both. So there's tons of like sexiness there. And then I was just reading all the chats. Stephanie, St. Louis, Missouri asked, where's everybody from? And my Lord, we got people from Costa Rica. I live in Puerto Rico, in case anybody was curious. And my aunt always thinks I'm from Costa Rica. So she tells other of her friends, yeah, my nephew, he lives in Costa Rica. And then people ask me, how's Costa Rica? I'm like, I have no idea. I've never been. I live in Puerto Rico. But guys, love the information or all the convos in the chat. Keep using that for any back and forth communication. If you guys want to like get to know each other, and if anybody knows the answer to somebody else's like thing, but if you want a question for sure answered at the end, then the sooner you submit it, the better. But add that question into the Q&A part inside of Zoom, just to make sure that if you need something answered from Mina or myself, add that into the Q&A. Also in Puerto Rico, what's up, Kyle? Okay, so anyway, Mina, just wanted to get that across. But everything you said.
No, the Q&A thing is important, just because, number one, we don't look at the chat. It's impossible. Like, we're trying to basically like give all this value. I can't be looking at the chat. And then once it's done, I can't scroll through a whole chat. So I'm just going to go Q&A and one by one. So the sooner you ask a question, the better in the Q&A. Yeah, keep going, Clayton. What were you saying?
Nothing. I mean, getting back to what you were saying, just that there's this massive opportunity. That's exactly what everybody's honing in on with China. And I think that, like, if you look backwards kind of in history, I used to sell on eBay back in 2014. I did Amazon to eBay arbitrage. I sold even before that. But, eBay has largely now become like a used goods place, right? Some people still sell new stuff, don't get me wrong, but the big one's Amazon. And then Walmart is growing, but still, I think Amazon's the behemoth. But all of a sudden, like, this is the first, like, there's been Temu, there's been what's the other one that came on before? Yeah, like, and there's all these ones that popping up, but the one that I think is for sure the loudest, making the biggest splash, and like has a real chance to be a real secondary income is TikTok. Like, it's already massive.
Yeah, and it is the biggest threat, right? I think once they dial in their marketplace, like right now, it's kind of like, okay, you're on TikTok, you're discovering. When you want to go look at products, it's not like fully optimized like Amazon is. Once they dial in their marketplace feature, it's gonna be a game over, bro. Because this is how I envision it, right? I envision it as this. You type in electrolyte powder, right? You want to buy an electrolyte powder. And then they start showing you, like, if you go vertical, it'll show you different products. If you go horizontal, it'll show you more videos of the same product. So let's say the first one's liquid IV, right? You scroll to the right, you see more videos of liquid IV, and it has like a link to the product and the price, you know, and the number of reviews, just like Amazon. And then if you scroll down, it takes you to the next one, you know, Ultima, MMA Nutrition, whatever it may be. And that's how you get social shopping and marketplace like combined.
I follow a bunch of newsletters about TikTok, and I'm like 99% sure this is accurate. That what's the generation beneath millennials? Is it Gen Z? The Z?
Yeah.
Z? Stephanie's got me. Thank you. Gen Z, that like 15% of people said that they would start a TikTok, like a search on TikTok before they would do it in Google. Some people are starting to do different things. Some people are using ChatGPT or Bard, right? For the AI perspective. But the younger generation, I think, and I still consider myself somewhat young for the record, is just so much into this like social buying. Like, I trust other videos. I need to hear it from a human being, not, you know, just words and text. And so I thought that was crazy that people would go to TikTok and search something before they would go to Google. And it wasn't like 1% or 2%. It was like 15%. I was like, that can't be true. And then I read it other places and I was like, damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, dude, I mean, behavior changes, right? Like with every generation, behavior is changing. All right, I don't want to get too distracted, right? Let's do some quick polls before we start. Literally like a few polls. Stephanie, kick off the polls. I have the deck, the presentation ready, and we can jump right in.
Okay, the poll should be up. Everybody should see it. Take about 30 seconds to answer some questions.
Yeah, please answer the polls, guys. It helps me and Clayton understand who you are. And then we can also like customize the presentation a little bit better, you know, to you. And if it makes sense, you know, like, let's say like everyone here is like really advanced. I'll talk more advanced strategies. If everyone here, you know, is a like, doesn't have as big of a budget, for example, I'll try talk more about like scrappy things as opposed to like, oh, like let's throw money at this stuff. And you're like, well, I could never do this. I don't have that kind of money.
I'm trying to look up that newsletter, or I read it, to figure out exactly what the percentage is, because I don't want to fib to anybody, but I don't think I'm going to find it while I'm on this call, but I can send it out after.
All right. Let's Stephanie, how are the poll results coming in? Should we get just
about 51%? So another 10 seconds.
Okay. All right, guys. If you haven't done the poll, please do the poll real quick so we can get started. I have the presentation and everything set up, so we're good to go.
All right, I'll end the poll now.
Nice. All right, I'm really hyped for this. Okay, so we have, you know, about 73% of people are 0 to 5 years, 30% 1 year, 2 to 5 years, 43%, 6 to 10, 18, 10 years plus 9%. That's crazy. Approximate revenue, less than 500K, half the room, 500 to million, 34%, 10 million to 50 million, 9%, 50 to 250. I just realized there's no 2 million to 10 million, Stephanie. So you're either making 500K to 2 million or 10 million plus. There's no in between. And then 64% of people aren't on TikTok Shop. So that's exciting. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna, how can I share my screen?
36% are, that's higher than I expected. So that's awesome.
Yeah. How do I share my, oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm blind. All right, let's get started. All right, you guys can see my screen. I'm gonna put slideshow right now. All good?
Yep, we got you. Thank you.
There we go. Let me move this out of the way. All right. So live webinar, we're talking about unlocking e-commerce growth. So both Clayton and I are going to be talking about similar but different things. I'm going to talk about TikTok Shop step by step, how to set it up, how to start, you know, getting up and running on TikTok Shop, how to scale affiliate outreach, how to run ads, the whole thing. This is, you know, I'm going to try and summarize in everything in as much as possible in the short amount of time that I have. And then Clayton's going to be talking about external traffic. And so Clayton, you want to kind of tease about what your thing is going to be about?
Yeah, and I did find that article. I'll post it at the very end. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the ability to figure out how to get people that might be on TikTok, but might not be finding your products, but are searching through Google. Like where my brain is right now is thinking about where people start their searches online. Some people are searching on TikTok, but a lot of generations aren't. So they'll start on Google, but they're also on TikTok. So how do you have multi-channel strategies, and how do you funnel sometimes traffic to places like Amazon to help increase rank and make the Amazon algorithm happy? And then other times, when does it make sense to push it to TikTok Shop? And because we all know there's a huge opportunity there. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about.
Amazing. All right, let's get into it. So, we already covered this. So let's talk about TikTok Shop, guys. Why should you choose TikTok Shop? We kind of touched on this, right? First of all, it's very easy to get started on TikTok Shop. There's already a ton of people, billions of people that are already, living on TikTok Shop as a social platform, same as Facebook, same as Instagram, except TikTok itself is like way more addicting because of that short form content, the dopamine hit that you keep getting. So they already have a ton of users. And then there's already a ton of UGC creators. What you guys don't know is TikTok is working like three angles, right? They're bringing people to their platform, TikTok, like regular, customers, people who buy stuff. Then they're bringing brands to their platform so that they can start selling, but also they have all these programs where they're promoting that you can, any person, any normal person, someone who's a stay-at-home mom, someone who's 16 years old and wants some extra cash can literally become an affiliate. And you guys know this, right? Like there's these crazy, 14 years old, 15 years old people like putting content out there and it pops off. Like it's, this 14-year-old puts three, 4 videos out and one of them gets 1 million views. This is possible. TikTok like has that virality aspect to it. And so they're now pitching normal people like, hey, you guys can become, affiliates and you can start making money very easily. So it's creating an army of affiliates and it's also bringing brands to kind of marry the two together. And it has that third component of obviously a ton of people, on the platform. So the affiliates can essentially sell to them. So that's one thing. Another thing is, it also makes TikTok Shop also makes like checkout, like the whole checkout process incredibly easy. So the biggest thing is Amazon's checkout process is the best, right? You click on a product, you click buy, you swipe, it's done. In 2 days, it's going to be at your door. Now, what TikTok Shop does is you have a very, very similar experience where you can check out with like Apple Pay or whatever. So again, you don't need to log in, you don't need to do all of this stuff. You just need to very quickly say I want to buy the product, double tap, and then, with your Apple Pay, you're going to pay, or with Google Pay, you're going to pay. So they've set it up in a way that is very, very, very enticing, for, consumers to just pretty much live on the platform and convert. Now, let's talk about the opportunity. Over 1 billion users on TikTok Shop. TikTok's algorithm promotes high user engagement. So like I said, you could be a very normal person. I could send my product, MMA Nutrition, to 30 different people, right? Random people, 10K or less followers. And a few of them could get a 500K, view video or 1 million view video. You know what I mean? That algorithm promotes like that high engagement. Videos have high visibility. We talked about that. Users can discover and browse. So the thing that kills me about, Instagram Reels is I can never look for anything. I can never be like, what was that funny reel that I saw that I want to share it with my friends? I can never do that. With TikTok, you can actually like, and this is what, we do a lot, like me and my wife do. Well, let's say we're going to Oahu. So I'll just say best beaches in Oahu, and it goes on TikTok, and then you just watch videos of people that are like, putting content out about Oahu. So that searchability, like the search engine feature that TikTok has is incredibly powerful. Let's talk about some numbers. So TikTok users spend an average of 52 minutes per day on the app. I think this number is not accurate. I think it's way more. And it's an average of 70% engagement rate. And 60% of TikTok users base is under 30, making it the perfect demographic to reach younger audiences. But also these people are going to grow. So, you're kind of tapping into the platform that everyone 30 and under is using. And as they get older, it's only going to get bigger, right? So let's talk about how to set up TikTok Shop. Very, very simple. You go to TikTok Shop Seller Central. You choose the region that you're in, United States or whatever. Quick note here, you have to have a US-based business to get started on TikTok Shop. I don't know if they changed it like very recently or they're going to change it, but as far as I know, if you're not a US-based entity, you can't start selling on TikTok Shop.
But that's not like a super big problem. Yeah. Like, I mean, I just got back from China and everybody in China has a US corporation. So you can still be okay. Even if the people that are calling in from the UK, Denmark, I saw Costa Rica, still a way to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. You just need to set up a US entity. So get in touch with a corporate lawyer, set it up, and then, you'll get started. It's nothing crazy. It's pretty simple. And then it's going to ask you for a way to log in, email, phone number, whatever, and, choose your business type. And then from there, just fill out all the information. It's very straightforward. Legal name, EIN number, registered business, I certify, do you have a parent company, yes or no? And then that's it, right? Then it literally took me 15, 20 minutes sitting on my couch one weekend to set it up. And then I had to add the product. The beautiful thing is if you're already selling on Amazon, you can literally take everything that you have on Amazon on your listing and copy it over to TikTok Shop. So you're talking about product title, category, description, shipping information, and then your images. Very, very simple. So, product name, literally copy paste from Amazon. Category, there's only a few categories, so just pick the one that makes the most sense. Media, that's where you're going to add your images, right? And literally what I did is I took my images from Amazon, downloaded them, and just uploaded them to TikTok Shop, right? Pretty easy. There's a tool that I want to mention very, very briefly. It's called FastMoss. So this is kind of the Helium 10 equivalent for TikTok Shop.
Sorry to interrupt, Mina, because I know this part. I know we've talked about FastMoss, that this is going to be nuts. Some people in the chat are saying that it differently from setting up on Amazon, that you actually need a social security number to sign up on TikTok Shop in the USA. Some people asked if you can use an ITIN. They said, unfortunately, you can't. Have to have an SSN. So the alternative here would be what in your suggestion?
We haven't found a way around it, to be honest, to be completely honest. So it's just been, you have to use a social security number. The only way would be to find even finding like a silent partner is tough, right? Because you're basically like tying someone's social security number to selling something. And if you start selling something that's not good, it might be tied back to them. This is a tough one, honestly. I think, if you don't have a social security number, there might be a possibility for you to get a social security number if you set up a US entity and then you say, I need a social security number from the social security.
Somebody said 3 months ago they did successfully register with an ITIN. So a couple of thoughts come to my head. Number one, maybe look at doing this not just in the USA. Number two, silent partner. I've heard of lots of people in China doing exactly that, even for Amazon, because they believe it's less likely to get their account suspended if it's registered with a US person. And then the third thing is maybe we can do some more research, because it sounds like some people are having mixed answers. Like some people are able to, some people are not.
I haven't been able to at all. I mean, and we had a few people kind of like, they don't want to use their social security, right? Like we have one brand that's really big and he's like, I don't want to tie my social security, like as the CEO. So again, I think they're going to fix it, right? Over time, like they're going to realize that this is a bottleneck and they're going to eventually fix it. Now,
usually you can sign up with an EIN. If they're wanting to compete with Amazon, like I know they are, they're going to make it easier. They're going to open the floodgates. If they haven't, it sounds like they had them open. Anyways, we'll figure that out, but I wanted to just address that, but keep going. Yeah. Let's talk about FastMoss.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. So FastMoss, just going to briefly touch over it. I'm going to do a full video on exactly how to use it, but essentially like you can discover products on TikTok Shop and figure out what's working and what's not working. This is crucial, right? Because with TikTok Shop, it's not like Amazon. With Amazon, it's a marketplace and literally you can sell anything. You can sell toilet paper, you can sell a bidet, you can sell a mug, a cup, whatever, right? You could sell anything no matter how boring it is. With TikTok Shop, it's a little bit different. It's social selling. So you have to sell something that makes sense. Like when you put it on content, right? In short form content, it can scale. So one thing that, FastMoss does is you can actually go and see like your competitors, how much revenue or how many units they're selling for these different products. So if you're like, hey, Mina, I'm selling this kind of product, right? Like, will it work on TikTok Shop? Take a look, use FastMoss and go take a look at competitors and what they're doing. But again, if there's no competitors, it could be a blue ocean for you, right? This is very, very new, but at least it's one data point, right? Another thing it allows you to do is connect with creators. We're going to cover this with another tool as well, but the whole purpose of TikTok Shop is you list your products, you connect with creators, you get them to make videos for you at scale. And the ones that work, obviously as they're making videos, those videos will convert and they'll get sales, but then taking those videos and the ones that perform well, scaling them with ads and then getting way more, views and impressions and traffic through the video. So FastMoss helps with that, monitoring competitors we talked about, and then exploring content. That's another one also. We haven't gotten to the point where we're actually telling creators what kind of content to make, but I do see it as a point that's going to be necessary with saturation. So right now there's no one on TikTok Shop. It's an amazing opportunity. It kind of like Dubai when Dubai or Tulum, when Tulum was amazing and no one was going. But then once it gets saturated, you need to start evolving. And so I think at a certain point, it's going to get saturated and then you're going to need to actually create really good content. And this is where this comes in, where you can start monitoring content that pops off, that drives a lot of sales, and then say, okay, we need to replicate content that's similar to that, as opposed to just letting the creator do whatever they want. All right, how to set up fulfillment. So one of the biggest questions is always, Mina, I set up on TikTok Shop. Do I need a 3PL? You don't need a 3PL. If you're selling on Amazon or if you have any 3PL, it's fine. We use a tool called Webby. So we connect from our TikTok Shop. We map the SKU on TikTok Shop to the SKU on Amazon. It connects them. And then every time someone makes a purchase on TikTok Shop, it then sends, an order to Amazon, multi-channel fulfillment. Amazon fulfills it, creates a tracking number, sends it back to TikTok Shop so that, whoever is looking to track their products can track it on TikTok Shop with the tracking number. It makes it super, super easy. This is why, like, I'm always hesitant to open up any new marketplace if I have to do any sort of like different type of fulfillment. I just want everything to be at Amazon. Amazon controls the fulfillment. Anyways, it's 99% of my revenue, right? But when TikTok Shop is like, cool, you can connect to anything that you want. Using Webby made it super easy. It literally took me, 15, 20 minutes to set up, and I was able to connect TikTok Shop to Amazon, and now fulfillment's done. Next, let's talk about affiliate outreach. So once you're on TikTok Shop, on the left side, you're going to see discover creators, find creators, and then you're going to see collaboration, open collaboration and target collaboration. So open collaboration basically means you're creating like a commission for anyone who wants to sign up, right? So you're like, I want to do an open collaboration. You can put some criteria and you can say 15%. I'm going to give 15% commission to anyone who wants. All you got to do is just sign up with me, and then I'll get you a free sample, and then you can start posting videos. A targeted collaboration is instead of them coming to you, you go to them. So you're like, okay, there's some filters. I want people who are in this category. I want them to have a minimum of this many followers. I want them to have done a minimum of this much GMV, right? And so GMV is basically like sales from their from the content that they're putting out. So I'm like, okay, show me the best people, ones with at least 5,000 followers, ones that have made at least $1,000 in commission, ones that are in my category. And I'm going to do a bunch of outreach to them. So I'm going to create one message, a templated message, and then do outreach and say, hey, I'd like to work with you. Obviously, you can also, once you build that list, because you put in the filters, it shows you the list. You can also create customized messages. So you can open each affiliate one at a time and say, hey, I'd love to work with you. Like, hey, Clayton, I love your content. The one that you did for, Bloom, I'd love to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to be like, wow, this person's like messaging me, one-on-one versus everyone else is bombarding me with like this automated messaging, right?
So quick question around that, because somebody's asking this too, but it's top of mind. What percentage is like, the question here is like, what percentage is a good percentage to offer, right? Obviously, the higher you offer, the more people are going to be interested, depending on the product. But assuming, you have a good product with good, quality, and if they look on it somewhere else on the web, they're going to see its quality. What have you seen? What percentages work the best?
So this is what we do, right? We start at 30%. 30% is very enticing, and we get a lot of people creating a lot of content for us. And then once we have that ball rolling and the momentum, we scale it back down to, 25%, and then eventually 20%. Under 20%, I don't think it's going to do that well because, you're competing with a lot of people who are offering more. So I would say 20 to 30%. 30% really helped us get the ball rolling, and a lot of people were down to like do it. And remember, like the ones that are generating the most amount of revenue are going to want good commissions. Like, why would my neighbor Michelle, she's an affiliate for TikTok Shop. She creates this content. She'll make $1,000 a day or $2,000 a day from a product. You have, most of us here don't have a big brand like that. So she's maybe gonna make 50, $100 from us. So why would she do it if she's not gonna get like a decent cut, right? It's not gonna be worth the time. In both cases, it's a 1-minute video or a 30-second video that she had to make. So the creators and affiliates are thinking, how much can I get the most amount, how can I get the most amount of money for the least amount of time that I spend? So for the same amount of, TikTok content that I'm going to create, instead of getting $5,000 in payouts, can I get 50,000? And so that's just something to consider, right? The bigger the cut, the faster the momentum. Anything under 20%, I'm not seeing work.
Okay, that's really good information. Thank you.
Cool. So essentially, open collaboration, target collaboration, there's a few things to note here. If you have under, I believe 500 GMV a week, right? So $500 in sales a week, you can't reach out to more than 50 affiliates per week. It's annoying, right? They used to allow me to send 1,000 messages a day pretty much, but then they scaled it back. I think it's going to change. But anyways, it's fine, right? You reach out to 50 people. If you're going to run ads, eventually you're going to be able to get, that $500 a week, no problem. And then as you get that 500, you can scale that number up. And then you have find creators. Find creators is a little bit more of like that customized targeting that I said, where you're basically typing in criteria, finding creators. And then once you find those creators, start sending those custom messages to them. Say, hey, I can send you guys a template, but it's so simple. It's like, hey, Michelle, I love your content and I love what you did for this brand. I'd love for you to be a part of the not the Trivium, the MMA nutrition brand. Hard Work is an electrolyte powder that promotes hydration and it makes you feel good and get more energy. Would you be open to doing a collaboration at 30% commission? And then, you'll send that message. A lot of people are going to say no or ignore you. A lot of people are going to say yes. And then you also don't have to work with that person. So what I do is I send, let's say 500 messages a week or 1,000 messages a week to all these different people. Let's say I get 85 people that request a sample from me. I don't have to approve them, right? What I do is I can go into those 85 people and look at each one of them. And it also tells me, so there's a few metrics here. One of the metrics is going to show how much percent of the time does this person follow through with the video that they said they would create. So what happens is once you approve someone's sample, Webby or whatever TikTok shop will automatically process their sample. They're going to get a free product. Now, that person is then going to get harassed essentially by TikTok shop to create a video. So it's a combination of you having to do follow-up, but also TikTok shop will do some follow-up for you. And you're like, hey, just checking, how do you like the product? Like, can you make a video for us? Whatever. And then if they don't make a video and submit it and link the product, TikTok shop will know, and then it'll say, this person got 10 samples and they only made 9 videos. They have a 90% completion rate. They have an 80% completion rate. And so when you're vetting those affiliates, you want to make sure you're going with people who have like a 95% plus, completion rate. Maybe that 5% is they got a product and it was like, this is absolute trash. I don't want to promote it. Yeah. That's understood. But if you get someone who's 75, 80%, why are they 20% of the time not following through? You just gave them a sample and then they just ghosted you, right? So you want to pay attention to that, like the completion rate. You want to pay attention to how much GMV they've generated. If they made money once, they're most likely going to be able to make money again. And then follower count has really not been a factor for us, and so I had a guy with very, very low follower count and he's already sold 12 units for me. You know what I mean? And it cost us like about $13 or something like that in terms of ad spend. And then we've had, some of the bigger ones with like no results at all. So some bigger following and no sales. So with TikTok, I think, follower count is very unpredictable, but when it comes to GMV and when it comes to like the completion rate, I think those are numbers that you can trust. Now, obviously outreach is going to be boring and tedious. So how do we get that stuff automated? Scale it with a Maven Reach bot. So this company is created by my very good friends. And he reached out to me. He said, hey, what are you doing on TikTok shop? And I shared with him my strategy. And he's like, I have something for you. He connected me on this bot. And essentially what the bot does is they will put the criteria that you want. And then the bot, like automated every single day, does outreach. It does the maximum amount of outreach possible to all different affiliates. And then, like I said, they're not going to automatically get approved for a sample. What's going to happen is they're going to all request samples, and then you're going to go through the sample messages one at a time, go look at the profile of the person and be like, okay, I like this person, approved. I don't like this person. You can politely decline and say, hey, I'm sorry. Our team has deemed that your account is not qualified to get a sample from us. If that changes in the future, we'll be sure to reach out, something like that. Okay. So like I said, you can hit between 500 to 2,500 creators daily. You can do less, you can do 50, you can do 100, right? It's whatever you set in the bot. And the beautiful thing is, like, you don't even do it yourself. You just say, hey, this is the criteria that I want. And then the team, is gonna, the Maven Reach team will set everything up for you. All right. So I covered this, right? So a nuance here, right? Let's focus on one small nuance. As you do this outreach, people are going to start requesting samples. Once that you approve their samples, they're going to get the product. A key piece here is you start following up with them to get the videos, right? And so that's fine. You guys already know this. But once you get the video, a key thing you want to ask for is their Spark code. The Spark code is this unique code that is attached to their video. And that, like, I think of it like if you guys have ever done Facebook ads, it's like a unique ad ID. It's just the ID of the video. And what you can do with that Spark code is then when you want to start running ads, TikTok's going to ask you, what do you want to run in the ad? Do you want your own content? Do you want to upload a piece of content, or do you want an authorized content? Authorized content is basically the content that the affiliate made for you. And so this is kind of examples, right, of you know, affiliate content where these people, these, you know, affiliates, they made this content and we're like, okay, amazing, this looks really good, please send us a Spark code. So we took the Spark code from them, and then we started creating campaigns on like the advertising platform on TikTok Shop, and we took, you know, we took the Spark code as like, that's the piece of content that we're going to promote, put money behind it, and all of a sudden that video went from 7K views to 170K views. And we went from making, you know, let's say 3 or 4 sales to making 15 or 16 sales from that one video. And I'll talk about a little bit more details, but Clayton, I feel like you have some questions for me.
No, I mean, I think you're crushing this. I'll tell you right now, we have 20 questions in the Q&A. So I'm gonna instead of me asking questions, I'm gonna just try to let us get through our stuff and then save time at the end.
All right. Yeah. I'll keep going through this because I know we have like more stuff coming up too. So simply, guys, you need to create 3 things in TikTok Shop. You need to create TikTok Shop Seller Center. You need to create a TikTok Shop Business Center or business whatever account, and then you need to create a TikTok Shop advertising account. So there's 3 accounts you need to create. It's not that hard. You create your Seller Central account, which is, you know, the one where you're gonna do all the creator outreach, and then it's gonna when you go to start trying to create ads, it's gonna say please create a business account. You create a business account. It's going to ask for like some payment information, stuff like that, simple stuff. And then it's going to say, okay, now go create an ads account. And then you're going to go and create an ad account. I don't know why they set it up like that, but it's, I think, very similar to how Facebook does it. So Facebook has a Facebook business manager, and then it has a Facebook ads manager under it. Whatever, you know, who cares? But, oh, sorry, let me go back. So anyways, so to get that stuff going, you're gonna choose TikTok Shop account to deliver Spark ads. Then choose the account that's owned by you. You also need to link your TikTok account, your like TikTok Seller Central account and ads account to your TikTok, your brand account, right? So it's the account that like has your brand. And there's a couple other nuances I gotta touch on, man. There's so many things to this. Okay. Anyways,
and just so everybody knows, like they're going to get the recording of this. We'll send out the slides. So many people have asked, like, is this, you know, so much information that's so good, but are we going to, you know, get it? Yeah, you'll get it. And, you know, Mina will make himself available to you afterwards too.
Yeah. Any questions you guys have, I got you guys. So then you're gonna choose the existing, like you're gonna go and link your account, and then choose an existing post linked into your account, or you can add the authorized video, right? Which is the Spark ad that we talked about. Now, the nuance that I wanted to mention is people will check out your account and they're gonna check out your listings. So obviously your listings need to have great images and they need to have reviews. If you guys don't know how to do reviews, one very simple way is reaching out to people on TikTok and then saying, hey, I'll reimburse you through PayPal for the price of the product if you buy the product on TikTok and, you know, you leave me a review. And so we've been doing that. We've been reaching out to people saying, do you want to try the product for free? They say yes. Amazing. You know, here you go. What's your PayPal? We give them the money and then we follow up. And if they like them, we ask them to leave a review on TikTok Shop. And then the other thing is they're going to check out your TikTok page. And so one thing that you can do is for a lot of these creators, you can ask them, can you send me the actual video? Now, you can also pay them. You can say, listen, like, I know you're doing one video for me. Can I pay you for like, because you can't take like, I can have a video made by someone and they give me the same video and I post it on my own page. If TikTok finds duplicates, they could potentially suspend the entire account for that creator. So they'll never give you the same video. But if someone makes you a video, you can say, hey, can I pay you $25 to make me a very similar video? And they'll be like, oh, sure, I can make you one. $25. It's 1 minute, you know, so they're basically making 100 an hour. And then they make that video, send it to you, and then you upload it to your TikTok account. And then when someone on TikTok Shop, a customer, clicks on the product, they also can click on your account and see that it's a legitimate, like decent looking account, not like a weird, you know, like they have no content, they just have products to sell. All right. So yes, ensure that the authorized posts are allowed because those are what, you know, allow you to connect, you know, your campaigns to those videos that creators are making. Authorize the video for promotional use, which is another setting, and then enter the video code on TikTok, the video code on TikTok Ads Manager. So when you go and click create a campaign, it's going to be very simple. You could create a campaign, and then it says, okay, what's the account that you're using? What video do you want to use? You know, you're going to click on authorized video, and then it's going to tell you, okay, what's the code? You take that Spark code, which by the way, you should be tracking everything in a Google Sheet. So as you get those videos from the affiliates. Just say, this is the affiliates, TikTok handle. This is the link to the video. And here's the Spark code. You copy that Spark code, paste it, and then you're ready to go. Now, let's talk about, some campaign best practices. So what I'm seeing is you want to like do one campaign, one ad group, and one video, right? So essentially like single video campaigns. What I used to try to put 10 videos in a campaign, or 5 videos in a campaign, and see which one works the best, and then scale the one that works the best. That didn't work so well. Then I tried doing one campaign, 5 ad groups, and then 1 video per ad group. And because you can control the budget on an ad group level, thank God, right? Much better than Amazon, where you can't control the budget on an ad group. You can only control it on a campaign level. So it makes everything so messy because you have to have 1,000 campaigns. In this one, you don't really need 1,000 campaigns. But what I actually found the best is I have a $35 product. So I would put $50 in a campaign, and I would put only 1 video in that campaign. And I would allow it to spend the $50. So what I noticed was, when I would do $10 and be like, I'm going to spend up to $30 on this video before, saying, okay, it's not working and killing it. Instead of doing that, I said, I'm going to put $50 daily on 1 video. What happened is I saw that the video would pop off much faster, and I would very quickly be able to tell if the video is good or if the video is not good. So I started doing 1 campaign, 1 ad group, 1 video, $50 daily budget. Is going to spend the full 50. So if you can only afford 50, then try the video for 1 or 2 days. If it doesn't convert, kill it, open up another campaign. You can also schedule all those campaigns and just keep them closed. So 1 video works, great, keep scaling it. The other one doesn't work, or the other one, or it doesn't work, you go to the other one, you start running it, it works, scale it, it doesn't work, pause it, open up the other one, and so on. And so it's a game of essentially testing different videos with a decent sized budget. So I would say like 1.5 times to 2 times the cost of your product as a campaign budget. And then whatever pops off, you just scale. You can start with a $50 budget. You can up it to 70, up it to 100, up it to 150. And that's what I found has been working to scale. All right. So I know this is a lot of information. If you guys need help, Brandy is going to drop in the comments. We have a form. We're maybe taking like 1 or 2 people a month, because this is so new and it's pretty intensive. So if you guys need help with setting up your TikTok shop and getting up and running on TikTok shop, fill out the link in the chat, and I'll answer all your questions in the Q&A. But yeah, that's pretty much for me. Yeah. So guys, the job form in the chat, make sure to fill it out if you guys are interested in us running TikTok shop. If you have any questions, this is my email, mina@triviumco.com. Email me, I'll answer questions, but I'm going to turn it over to Clayton because I want him to finish his portion so he can bang through all the Q&A that we have. Sorry, Clayton, I'm trying to stop sharing. There we go.
You're muted, Clayton.
Jesus Christ. I was asking if you could see my screen. Sorry about that.
We can.
Okay, awesome. So listen, we're going to loop this all back to like exactly what Mina's talking about, but also going to talk about Amazon, because I think a large percentage of earlier in the poll said that people are selling on Amazon. So talking about multi-channel traffic and revenue, how you can retarget. So one of the tools at Carbon 6, shameless plug, is Pixelme, and it connects to Google, Facebook, and Instagram, so all of Meta, and TikTok via API. It also connects to Amazon attribution via API. So you can send Google traffic, Facebook traffic, and TikTok traffic and record all of that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about TikTok and how it's in its own special case. But Google, Facebook, and Instagram, I'll tell you right now, works completely perfectly. And there's a huge opportunity with TikTok as well. So why would you consider sending? I saw some people in the chat asking about this. It said, how much traffic should I push from an ad perspective on TikTok into TikTok shop versus how much should I send to Amazon? And I don't think anybody has the magic answer for that. But what I can tell you for sure, anybody that's selling on Amazon and now starting to sell on TikTok shop, I would tell them to test for sure, because Amazon cares a ton about external traffic. Amazon is competing with TikTok shop, what we're talking about today, but also Walmart, Temu, Shopify, eBay, and others. And so they are trying to figure out how, if you're an Amazon CEO, how do I get as many eyeballs on my Amazon.com website as humanly possible? And what we had is we had a theory. I'll go back one slide real quick. We had a theory that if we sent traffic from Google, Facebook, and TikTok to Amazon, we would see an increase in organic rank. We would see a decrease in tacos and an improvement in BSR. And we've seen that thousands of times now. We have thousands of campaigns currently running on PixelMe, sending traffic to Amazon. We're not the only company that says this. Elevate Brands, Be Bold, Seller App, lots of agencies have done their own studies, both on Google, Facebook, and TikTok. They all come to the same conclusion. If you send traffic to Amazon, Amazon's super happy. It makes their algorithm super happy, and they make you happy by increasing your rank and getting you more visibility. So the real question is kind of how we started this. Is TikTok the next big wave? And I'm not going to read all of this because I want to get to your guys' questions at the end. But what I'll quickly say is TikTok's huge. Everybody knows it. People are spending more and more time on there. But there is one caveat, which is, and we're gonna get back to this in just a couple of slides, but the idea of sending Google traffic to Amazon, you can record everything. It works perfectly. With TikTok, it does not work perfectly. PixelMe is not the only company that has tried to crack this. We believe strongly that TikTok is breaking the attribution. When you send traffic from TikTok to Amazon, we've tested this many times. 1,000 clicks, you will see that you're only showing 10 clicks in Amazon attribution. So TikTok, I believe, is in an internal war where they want lots of advertising dollars from everybody, but they're also trying to compete with Amazon. So their product team is like, how do we keep as many people on TikTok shop? Well, one way is not playing nicely with Amazon and not letting that traffic be like properly measured. But again, don't forget, and I talk with aggregators, a few aggregators I know, every single time they launch a product, they're launching with TikTok traffic, because when they review the data on TikTok from a BSR perspective and a tacos perspective and a keyword rank perspective and new to brand customers and branded search, all of that, they're seeing incredible results, incredible. So the answer that I'm saying is that I don't have the exact answer of what percentage to send to TikTok shop and send to Amazon. But if you're trying to create multiple revenue streams, you should be doing that. But you should absolutely consider growing the Amazon by sending some TikTok traffic, which is a lot more cheap or much cheaper than Facebook or Google traffic. And it can have an incredibly huge effect on Amazon. So this is
Clayton,
yeah.
So I want to add to that because I forgot to touch on this. I can't believe I forgot it, but
you're good.
You're 100% right. Like we only talked about like, you know, running these ads on TikTok shop and stuff, but a big side effect of that, which Clayton is touching on, is all of that content on TikTok. What we're seeing is a huge overflow into Amazon. So, you know, you're 100% right. It just sucks that you can't attribute it, but I know you're going to cover a few ways, like a few metrics that you can, you know, pay attention to see how TikTok shop is affecting Amazon.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest ones, right, like just out the gate, is look at tacos. Also check your BSR over time, but look at keyword ranks, because people are jumping off of TikTok, exactly like you're saying, Mina, and they're searching for your brand, but with the keyword on top of it, right? If you're selling a black shirt, you're typing in Mina's black shirt or whatever, but that's helping from a halo effect perspective, just the keywords black shirt. So you can check impressions. Bigger companies love to look at that, but 100% BSR, tacos, keyword rank, and your branded search. You'll see, I've seen this many times, people having 100 monthly search volume on their brand, maybe 50. And then after a bunch of TikTok, it's in the thousands. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I do want you to see this last bullet point, retargeting technology. That's how PixelMe started, and that's where I'm going to get into right now. We're partnered with Amazon Emerald, Google. We have a patent on a technology that we use to optimize for conversion on Google ads, but we're not talking about Google primarily today. I'm going to say that I wouldn't recommend sending traffic to Amazon, whether that's from TikTok, from Google, or from Facebook, if you're less than 4.3 stars. If you're in the threes, 3.8, 3.9, I think you'll lose money all day long, and I just don't recommend it. If you're in the 4 to 4.2, it's a maybe. 4.3 and above is a yes. And this is the slide I usually talk about when I'm talking about Google. But I will say that because TikTok has so much clothes and jewelry and gift boxes, that specifically because TikTok is interesting, that this can work for clothes and jewelry and gift boxes, but it can't usually work if you're sending Google traffic. So long story short, we have thousands of campaigns running from sending Google, Facebook, and TikTok traffic to Amazon. And we have a lot of automations that can automatically adjust bids, bids, switch to optimize for conversion. Again, some of this is unique to the Google and Facebook side, but let's talk about the results that we've seen when we send traffic from Google and Facebook and TikTok to Amazon. So what we've seen on this one is that this was a Google campaign. We increased the rank on a 25 to 24,000 search volume keyword from number 7 to number 1. Again, this is where you're not going to be targeting an ACoS goal with TikTok to Amazon. You can't, because the attribution is not clear. So you have to look at tacos. You have to look at your BSR. And this is an example of where your tacos goes from 53% after using PixelMe, it's down to 11. Another case study, same thing. Tacos goes from 15 to 7. Keywords go up because people are searching those keywords either on Google or they're jumping off of TikTok and then searching it on Amazon. And we see that when they've already been introduced to your product, that they are likely to find you on Amazon and buy it. And that helps a lot on your Amazon business. Here it says that this ACoS in this example was 190%. This was a Google ad, but the tacos went from 15 to 7. So this is where people are really winning. And in some more expensive products, you can expect ACoS as low as 5-10%. This in 5 weeks, we took it from 72% down to 12. So this is very, very achievable. But what I want to say is that if you are running TikTok traffic at all, or any traffic to Amazon or to your D2C, you should absolutely be using pixels to retarget. Okay, that's extremely important. If you don't remember anything else I said, use pixels to retarget. The reason is because if you have one experience with the product, you have a certain percentage chance of converting. But when you are retargeted, you are 70% more likely to convert, and conversion rates increase by 200% after the 5th time a user sees an ad. So retargeting is extremely important. So I'm going to tell you the strategy that I've seen work myself. Run Google ads or Meta ads. Use a TikTok pixel. So you can grab and create an audience inside, and all this can be done easily within PixelMe button clicks. Run Google and Meta ads, use a TikTok pixel, and then retarget those people on TikTok. If that person wants to buy on TikTok, they'll go to TikTok shop. If they want to buy on Amazon or your D2C, they'll jump off of TikTok, just like Mina said, and they will go search on Amazon or on Google, and they will find you. And then last but not least, and this is something that I know Mina knows very well as well, is to retarget them on DSP. So if you have an Amazon business, you should be retargeting on DSP. This is how the professional, bigger companies like UNICEF, Bosch, Procter & Gamble, they've been using PixelMe for a long time. This is where the real players are doing this, but now you can get involved for like very, very cheap, a few $100s a month for PixelMe to run all this. And, then you got to spend money on ads, of course. But what this leads to is an increase in organic rank and multiple revenue streams. So extremely great opportunity. If you guys want us to take a look at your products, you scan this QR code, I can without a doubt look at a product and say, this will absolutely crush, or this will do pretty well, or I do not recommend it at all. If you scan this QR code, and we'll also send it out in the chat, then we'll have a free audit for you, give you all the free information. You can decide what you want to do from there. The other part that I mentioned is DSP. Carbon6 does have a DSP company. It's DSP Prime. And I'm going to show you very quickly and then leave some time for questions. I'm going to show you one case study. And we are doing this regularly. Every single week, we're pumping out more and more case studies. Shannon and Stephanie hate me how many more of these slides I asked them to make. But real quick, they had a 2-to-1, basically a 50% ACoS. And we spent $1,716 to turn that into $20,500 in ads. So we're talking about an 8.3% ACoS in the first week. This is what can happen when you start churning all of these things together. Running ads, some to TikTok Shop, some to Amazon, and then retargeting. So if you're running Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, you need to be using pixels to retarget, and you need to consider DSP Prime as well. If you guys want a free audit as well, free information on whether or not we think your product is a good fit, and we will straight up tell you, because We care about our customers long-term. Our business isn't healthy if we bring on new customers and then they leave a month later. So very similar to PixelMe, if you scan this QR code, we will look at your product based on a bunch of different attributes like review count, number of reviews, whether or not you have A+ EBC content, your price, conversion rates, etc. Deep dive, and we'll tell you, yes, this is a go, or no, it's not. So last thing I'll say is that if you really want to learn, I'm like the QR code here. I got what? PixelMe QR, this QR, last QR code. If you just want a ton of free information, you're like, I'm not ready. Maybe I haven't actually launched any products yet, but I want to learn more about DSP. Shannon, Stephanie, the entire marketing team put together a full breakdown of Amazon ads and retargeting with DSP in 2024. This is like hot off the press. So I highly recommend everybody just get this free information.
Clayton, quick question, because someone asked this and I'm also interested. Can you give us more information about remarketing, like the utilization of like DSP? I'm assuming that's the main thing that you use for like remarketing, whether it's TikTok Shop or whether it's Amazon.
Yeah, I'll give you like a quick example. Let's say you're running a Google ad. The same can be said about TikTok, but you're running a Google ad. Inside of that ad, you add a pixel. A pixel is like a little cookie, like a little snippet that will fire whenever somebody clicks on that ad, and it will try to identify them. So let's say you're on Google and you add a Facebook pixel and a TikTok pixel. It will try to identify you to see if you have a Facebook account and if you have a TikTok account. And if you do, then when that link is clicked, that person, they won't give you their name or email address or anything, but that person will be added to audiences inside of those ad platforms. So again, we have an advertisement on Google, they click it, but that person does have a Facebook and a TikTok account. They are now inside of our Facebook account, business account, and inside of our TikTok ads account. There is an audience that it says, do you want to retarget? Do you want to start an ad campaign targeting these people that were added? Even though you were advertising on Google, now they live as an audience inside of Meta or inside of TikTok. And then you retarget those people to wherever you want to. You can send them into your TikTok shop, or you can send them to your Amazon store or to your D2C store. And the last step of that is using DSP, which is the entire flywheel. That's where you can plug into Amazon's huge network of advertising partners all over the web. So if you've ever felt like a product is following you around the internet, that's what's happening. Those people are retargeting you. They're using DSP to show up on other websites that you might be visiting. That's the way that real big companies, real successful companies are doing it. They're not paying for one click and hoping that you buy right then. They understand that 70% you're 70% more likely to get a conversion and 200% more likely after 5 impressions. They know this data, and that's how they're crushing and growing. They're using retargeting. I hope that makes sense. So the takeaways, Mina, you can, I think we should almost just skip over this slide. I'll quickly say, reach out to Mina if you want more help with TikTok Shop. He has clearly found out something that's working for him and his clients. And he's not just somebody that offers a service. He has his own products, and he's very open and talks about how incredibly successful they are. And so on my side, if you want to learn more about running Google, Facebook, TikTok traffic, retargeting, DSP, please reach out. Now, that was a lot. Let's get to the questions.
I can let you take a breather, and I'll bang through the questions if you want.
I would love that.
All right. So Christopher says, and by the way, guys, I answered about 15 questions while Clayton was talking. I typed them out. So we got 15 more. So let's bang through those 15. So Christopher says, is it good to increase the budget of a campaign which is performing well, or a new campaign should be launched with the increased budget and keep the old one? So far, it looks like just increasing the budget. However, I would split test if I were you. The reason I'm saying you should split test is because with platforms like TikTok Shop, it's so new and nothing is really like figured out yet. So I'm always kind of like I'm an engineer, so I always do these controlled experiments. So I'll try like the one ad group, the multiple ad group, the one video, multiple video. So try it out and see what works. It shouldn't be that expensive, but so far what's working for me is like just increasing the budget.
Hey, real quick question that I'm going to answer. Somebody said, as we send traffic to Amazon, pixels are not allowed to fire on Amazon.com. Am I wrong? You are not wrong. You're 100% right. But there's something called parallel URL integration, where when there's a click, two things are happening. One's going straight to Amazon, and the other one's bouncing off any website you want. It can be PixAMZ, our website, or your custom domain, and that's where you fire the pixels. So Google, Facebook, TikTok, they all have parallel URL integration, but you're right. You cannot fire pixels on a domain you don't own, like Amazon.com. So anyway, there's a solution for that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's if you can mark, I don't know if that was in the
It was in the
Q&A.
chat. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. It's chaos.
Okay.
Man. Chaos. I'll handle the
Okay.
chat. You handle the Q&A.
That's cool. I know Stephanie asked a bunch of questions, so you can hit those ones too. Okay, so have you found a way to change the business registration license for TikTok? The only reason why I don't sell on TikTok doesn't seem to allow an owner to change its registration. No, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. TikTok has been giving us a lot of headaches. It's very glitchy, right? Like, so remember like how Amazon was way back. Amazon's still glitchy, right? But TikTok is way glitchier. Like, we have products that are being suspended, and then there's like, okay, this is permanently suspended. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm like, what's wrong with this product? There's literally nothing wrong. And we have to launch a new product with a different SKU so that Amazon does, new UPC, new SKU. We're just stacking, like slapping a label on the product. So actually, I don't even think we need to do that, right? As long as our 3PL is connected, fine. But with that being said, if that happens, like if you need to change it, I would just start a new account. It's pretty easy to start a new account.
I'll grab one here. Stephanie posted to me. How can I use DSP to retarget people that came in through Amazon attribution? You can do exactly that. Inside of DSP, that's what we're doing. We're running Google, Facebook, TikTok ads. We're retargeting the people that came through on Amazon attribution. I'm not going to get into the details, but there's a tag to where you can reach out to exactly those people. And if they originally came through Amazon attribution and then you retarget them to DSP, you can still get the 10% brand referral bonus. So that's exactly what DSP Prime is married perfectly with Pixelme. That's how we do it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Christopher says the conversion rate is half of the initial checkout rate, which means the cart abandon rate is about 50%. What could be the main reason how to convert them? I think that's normal. I just think that, it's TikTok shop, right? So the conversion rate and the abandoned cart is not going to be as low as like Amazon, where like you're on Amazon, you're 100% buying some shit. Remember, this is like someone saw a video and they're like, oh, this is interesting. This is cool. I want to buy it. Let me think about it later. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't worry too much about that. I would just focus on scaling like the top of the funnel, which is more people seeing your product and more people clicking on the product, as opposed to like trying to figure out the abandoned cart. One other thing is the more the number of reviews, the better the conversion rate has been. So I would also focus on getting a ton of reviews. Yeah, Clayton, you want to take the next one?
No, you take another one. I'm catching up on the chat.
Yeah, Stephanie sent some ones up there. Okay, so we got Chris saying, we have found that setting up a brand on TikTok Shop has been extremely challenging. The trademark certificate request is not necessary, plus the distribution certificate. We want to help grow TikTok Shop, but the hurdles make it very time consuming, and it feels like they keep requesting additional documents for existing brands. 100%. It's annoying. It's weird. I don't know why they're doing it, but like, I don't think about that shit. Like, Amazon does this stuff. Amazon took down my product for a week because I didn't have a new COA and a new CGMP and all this NSF weird requirements that they spring up on us. I don't care. I'm gonna get hit by that, but by that platform, I'm gonna figure out a solution. I'm gonna come out on top. Like, it's a mindset thing for me. It's like, okay, so they're doing it for you. They're doing it for everyone else. They're stupid. Who cares, right? I'm gonna make money off of them. I don't care what they're doing. I care about, let me just overcome that, and then I'll keep trying to like hack it, glitch it, whatever, until I'm up and running and then making money, and that's what matters. It's like so many people get stuck like on the fact that Amazon isn't logical. TikTok Shop is not logical. Listen, build a company that big and tell me if like your shit is not breaking every single day. Like, it's gonna be breaking. So it doesn't matter that they're glitching and their stuff isn't logical. We're just gonna play the game. Like, I'm in their land, I'm in their country, right? Of like TikTok, right? And I'm playing by their rules. It doesn't matter. And you got this one. It says, how much should I split my campaign budget between DSP, PPC off Amazon? I know this is a hard one to answer.
That's a really hard one. Yeah, I mean, the answer is follow the data, right? Like, what you need to do, like, DSP isn't perfect for every product. Like, there's some products I just wouldn't recommend DSP for. I'm sure you would say the same, Mina. So number one, I would say get free information from people that have done it, right? I've done this. Mina's done this. So reach out to us, give us your information. You know, we're not going to copy your product. That's not what we're like. Some people are so nervous about sharing their products. Get the free information from people that know what they're doing, and then go from there and follow the data. The answer to that literally depends on what is your ACoS on PPC? What is your return on investment when running TikTok shop ads versus sending traffic to Amazon? Are you seeing an increase in organic rank? What's your DSP ROI? So it's just, you got to follow the numbers.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, like, this is kind of what I've done, and what we usually are like 100% PPC initially, right? That's going to be the highest converting. Then I move into DSP. DSP, there's two segments. You can call it like the lower funnel, which is loyalty and retargeting. So loyalty is targeting people who viewed, targeting people who purchased your product but haven't repurchased, and retargeting is people who viewed your product but haven't purchased. Those ones are usually going to add you're going to add 5% of your budget, or maybe 10% of your budget, and then you're going to tap out. Then, and it's going to be even slightly better than PPC. Then you're going to add competitor targeting and complementary product targeting or contextual targeting. That can add another, I would say, 10 or 15% of your budget, but it's going to be less, converting than regular PPC, right? Because it's like, go ahead.
You go ahead. I was going to say something else. I'm just trying to get back to K's. So finish your sentence.
No, that's kind of what we found with PPC and DSP. With off Amazon, I honestly have no gauge. So I would say, like, Clayton, correct me if I'm wrong. Just take 10% of your budget and run it on off Amazon and see how it works. If it doesn't work, no harm, no foul. If it does work, amazing. Keep exploring it. And
a lot of times you don't even need to necessarily do 10%. If you're just starting off with Google and Meta, you can see for less for most clients, depends on their size. And you can see an increase in organic rank on Amazon, and you can see like an ROI sometimes just straight on TikTok shop. You got to test stuff. K's, it's not parallel pixels, it's parallel URL integration. It's still the same pixel. What's happening is two things happening. One, they're just going straight to Amazon. Over here, it's like a ghost instance. That's where the pixel is firing. So it's a normal pixel. It's not any special pixel. It's just bouncing off. And as long as you have the same final destination URL, I'm really coming out as a nerd now. Yeah, it'll work, and you can fire the pixels.
Amazing. And then this one is a good one. Do you think TikTok Shop is a threat to Amazon? So what do you think, Clayton?
People have been asking me this for months, because like, what was it before? Wish, right? Wish was before. And then there's like Temu and Shein. If I'm being honest, like, if any one of them I feel like has the legs, I would say yes. Like, I'm leaning more towards yes. Do I think it's a threat? Is Amazon going to go away? No. But like, could it take a significant like portion of market share? You know, you fast forward 3 years, I think if anybody's got the chance to do it, it's TikTok Shop. And that's because buying habits are changing. Younger people buy differently than old people. That thing that I dropped, or Shannon dropped for me earlier, 10% of people are more likely to start their search on TikTok than they are on Google, because they trust the people on TikTok more than they trust the information on Google. That number has never been that high, and it's growing. So is there a chance that TikTok can take some market share? I would say yes.
Yeah, dude, you answered it perfectly, right? Because like, is Amazon going to go down? I don't know. I don't think so. They're the best, like, so far marketplace. When it was like Walmart, for example, it's like, okay, it's just another one of the same thing. It's like Amazon, Walmart. Like, why should I go to Walmart if you're doing the exact same thing? But the thing that you mentioned about the buying behavior, that's the thing everyone needs to pay attention to, because we're older. I mean, I'm 31, not that old, but like, dude, how are 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds buying their shit when they're 25? How are they going to buy it? If they're right now buying off of social shopping, dude, Amazon could be, going to go away at some point, because they're like, I would rather not just look at a bunch of images. I would rather see a bunch of people making videos about the product, because that's how I'm going to trust them. I want to see like the stuff live. So, dude, perfect answer, honestly.
And Amazon's trying to get more TikTok-y, and TikTok's trying to get more Amazon-y. They're trying to get better at what the other person's already good at. So
100%. So Abir said, is MCF safe for order fulfillment? I know people who use shops had issues with the channel. They had to use 3PL then. I've used it perfectly. I have no issues with MCF. So that's good. Clayton, you want to take one, or should I keep going?
I'm finally caught up on the chat. And now they're of course messaging more, but go to the next one. I'm looking for specifically in the questions, which ones are regarding that I think it's better for me to answer.
Okay, so Stephanie says, my warehouse location is not working. We ship from Amazon and have the same address on both Shopify and TikTok. What is going on? It could be a glitch, right? Because I mean, when I set up my location on TikTok Shop, it was just my home address. So and it doesn't really matter, right? Because when someone buys the product, it connects like the product to Amazon and does a multi-channel fulfillment. So it's not really calculating shipping or anything like that. So I'm not really sure, without like getting too deep into the details of your account. Maybe email me and I'll have like someone on my team take a look at it and see if we can fix it.
I'll take this one. And that's funny, Modar. I use Bard, not Perplexity, but yeah, same idea. Doesn't TikTok, this from Christian Hall, doesn't TikTok wipe attribution data? From what we can tell, yeah. Amazon created like a link with button.io where they gave to influencers a deep link for every single thing, for if you were on Instagram and Facebook and Quora or wherever. And it didn't work for Amazon or for TikTok. You had to hold down this button. So even Amazon can't get like deep link attribution links to work. So they tried. And my thought is TikTok's breaking it. So yes, you need to look at other data like BSR, sales velocity, etc., from before and after TikTok. And you can also, again, I know I said this, but just to remind you, Christian, also look at your branded search find, right? They hear that it's Mina's black shirt. So they're typing in Mina's black shirt on Amazon. You can measure that over time through the product opportunity explorer that pulls that data directly from Amazon. So yeah, you can track all of those things, but don't expect to be able to track ACoS directly from Google to from TikTok to Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, guys, like DSP is kind of the same thing, right? It's like sometimes you guys have to be okay with like you changing one thing and then measuring the total sales only, and being okay like not having good attribution, being okay not being like, okay, I spent $1, it made $4, right? It's just, in today's world, it's like they make it harder and harder. Even if you're doing like Facebook ads and you're selling on Shopify, most people, like, that's why they're using high rows or what is it called, triple whale, right? Because attribution is off. So just let go of that idea that attribution is ever going to be perfect, because even for PPC, I'm finding that attribution is completely like inaccurate for PPC.
Yeah, the aggregators, like I know two of them that are like, you could not pay me to not run TikTok shop, or sorry, TikTok traffic to Amazon. And I'm like, and I asked this question like 6 months ago. I was like, aren't you blind? Like, aren't you mostly blind? He said, it's not blind whenever I have an A/B test and I do one with TikTok traffic and one without. And this one crushes the launch every single time. And this one does not. So there's other ways, but yeah, you have to be comfortable to like, to beat the market these days. You have to do stuff that other people aren't comfortable doing. And that's part of it. There's other ways to measure it, but yes, that's what the big guys are doing.
Awesome. All right. So I got another question here. What metrics do you need to keep in mind when finding products for the TikTok shop? Dude, please don't do that. Please. Like if you're doing product research to find a product to sell on TikTok shop, don't do that. I don't recommend it. If you care about, if you're like, okay, I have a product and I want to see if it will work on TikTok shop, I would look at the number of sales with other products. That's it. Like, are other competitors selling 500 units a month, 1,000 units a month, 2,000 units a month? If they are, if there's like thousands of units a month being sold by similar products, then you have a great chance of you selling, hundreds or 1,000, whatever, plus of your units. If no one is selling, then I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying there is a risk. You have a data point that says, hey, no one else is doing this. Could there be something that's up with this category? Maybe it doesn't work on TikTok shop. That's all. Okay, I got another one, Clinton. Would a proper first product launch to be split product down the middle, or launch the product on Amazon and link with WebB to sell on shop? So would a proper first product launch be to split the product down the middle, or launch on Amazon and link with WebB to sell on TikTok shop? So I mean, it's hard to understand, but I'm assuming you're asking like, should I launch on TikTok shop and Amazon initially? Clayton, you have more information. We haven't done like a launch. Usually all of our clients are already selling on Amazon and they want to do TikTok shop. So what do you think, Clayton? You've seen some data with launching both at the same time.
I feel like all my answers suck because I'm just keep like saying, well, I'd have to look at this, I have to look at that. Number one, I think it depends on the type of product, right? Like, is it a product that people are wanting to, is it, I don't want to say boring and not boring, but right, TikTok has like, where I would not recommend doing jewelry or clothing on Google. I just would never recommend that, but I absolutely would recommend it on TikTok shop. So that's a place where TikTok shop is more likely to do great, but I would never recommend doing like, probably, I don't know, like a thing of nails or hammer, something boring that's like a tool. People don't necessarily want to watch something about nails, but that can work really good for Google. Bulk nail sets, toolboxes, things like that. So there's just some variation there. But what I would say, if you have the resources, then I would do both. I would test the waters in both places. And if you have additional resources, I would absolutely send TikTok traffic to Amazon, because that helps with the successful launch, and launching on Amazon successfully is not easy. So the more resources you have, the better, but depends on the product, unfortunately. And then if you could only pick one, I would still recommend Amazon. Amazon is the easiest place to check out. The conversion rate's higher. There's tons of people going there to buy products, way more than there is still on TikTok. We're talking about market share. Amazon has a lot more market share. So if you only could pick one, I'd pick Amazon. If you could pick both, I would do both, because you always have the chance of like going viral on TikTok too, right? And then the TikTok shop closed loop in that situation would help.
Exactly. All right, let's do like a couple more. So Samil says, after 30 days, TikTok charges a storage fee of 60, 0.6 pounds per day for each cubic meter. What should I do? I wouldn't, store my stuff at TikTok shop. Honestly, I would store my stuff at Amazon, or whatever your 3PL is, if you're on Shopify, and then connect to those platforms and then have them do the fulfillment, because I don't know how much units I'm going to move on TikTok shop, right? But I know that I'm moving a certain number of units on Amazon, and it's easy for me to hold everything there and maintain, a certain amount of days of inventory. And then I could just have TikTok pull from that, as opposed to trying to calculate how much I should send to TikTok shop. So I would just not use their
TikTok is light years behind from like a,
logistics.
logistics system. Yeah. And everybody, I mean, yeah, TikTok could raise prices like overnight because they realize this isn't, like, they bit off more than they could chew. But yeah, light years behind everybody is, really, compared to Amazon.
Exactly. Okay. Do you want to take one more?
Sorry, you take another one if you're ready.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see here. Yeah.
My
yeah,
company
Sunil
doesn't
said, I
want
used
this
to.
one.
Yeah,
Interesting.
go ahead.
My company doesn't want our Amazon name to be known. Does it matter on TikTok shop? I wonder why you wouldn't want your Amazon name to be known unless like it's got poor reviews or something. Because there are people 100% that are going to look on TikTok. They don't want to buy on TikTok shop. I'm a good example of this. I've never bought anything on TikTok shop, but my younger sister has. I have been influenced by TikTok, but I just already have an account. My credit card's already there. I feel safer buying on Amazon because I understand the return policy, all that stuff.
I would use a DBA. Just use a DBA, right? If you don't want to show the company name, create a DBA and just use that DBA. Now, I think if you're a Wyoming-based company, your DBA will be private. So if you have a DBA, they might not be able to tie it back to the original company. But I think with enough digging, like, they're gonna find out who your company is. But if your name is like, C4 Energy, right? And you're like, hey, I don't want anyone to know that we're C4 Energy, then use a DBA and call it like, whatever, any other like fitnesshealthproducts.com or some shit like that.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. Is there a tool like Helium 10 to find out TikTok sales velocity?
Fast Moss. So,
Like,
Brandy, do we have a link? Do we have a link to Fast Moss? I don't know if we have a link, but I mean, it's Fast and then Moss. Yeah.
I can
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a full video instruction on how to use Fast Moss to like find products and look at their velocity and do competitors and collaborations and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that on my YouTube channel. If you guys are not following me, my YouTube is Mina Elias, my first name and last name. So subscribe. All right, Clayton, I think that's it for us, man. I know we have a lot more questions, but we're getting to the time now.
Yeah, all good. I would just exactly what Mina said. My email, I'll drop that in the channel too. If anybody wants to follow up more about off Amazon traffic, I will drop out. Shannon already beat me to it. Clayton at carbon6.io. But guys, really appreciate everybody coming out today. Tons of great questions, super engaged crowd. You guys are the best. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and let's do one last thing, guys. If you can put in the chat, if we're gonna do another webinar together, what topic do you guys want us to cover? If you can just put that in the chat real quick, because Clayton and I are, and the Carbon 6 team are already in talks to do another one. So let us know in the chat what you guys are interested in. But do it quick because we gotta bounce.
Type fast. Finding the product.
Sammy said finding the product, AI advertising, launching on TikTok for the first timers, hashtags and title of them shit, TikTok affiliate, anything about AI. dynamic pricing, product hunting, off Amazon advertising, media. Cool. Some cool ideas.
Sounds like the biggest ones are finding the product, launching the
AI.
product, and AI.
Yeah. How to open TikTok as a non-US citizen? That's not a whole
The
webinar
chat was
topic.
blowing up with that. We can investigate them.
Yeah. I'm not the right guy for this. So we need like a lawyer or something for that. Single keyword campaigns for Amazon, things we should not do while selling on TikTok. Shell companies. All right. Okay. All right. You guys, mistakes you've made. I like that one. That's a cool one. All right. Thank you guys. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next webinar.
Thanks, everybody.